The Atlantic Division starting to heat up as we get into the second half of the USL Championship season tonight. From the Steel City and Highmark Stadium, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds play host to the Miami FC. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. We talked about that Atlantic Division. Let's show you how it is playing out as we speak. And right now, Pittsburgh still holding that spot at the top. Miami is playing chase, so 1 versus 3 today in this Atlantic Division. But these two teams have already faced off once this year. It was a 1-1 draw, a goal for either side. So a lot to be desired here for today.
It was a great game, to be honest. Tactically, the way that it started and the way that it finished was very different, much like the teams that we're going to see tonight in the matchup. But it all started way back in the 9th minute. Check out the break by Alex Dixon. Beautiful vision, and the cutback by Cicerone. The entire way just trailing, knows that he's going to get the ball, and then excellent execution on the other side of the field. But Francois, just before halftime, not to be outdone, nor Martinez. His ball even better than Dixon's, and the finish. Little touch on the near post, but a 1-1 draw was fitting between these two.
So those two teams facing off again here for the second time this season, same place, and how this season started and how it's been a lot different.
The standings are an interesting one for Miami because they only went from 4th to 3rd, but it's a massive jump for the Riverhounds, both statistically and within the division. They go from 5th to 1st. Look at the goal differential turnaround. That's a +9 difference, +3 for Miami. As good as Miami is on the offensive side, they concede a lot too. Both teams coming in, wins against Loudoun, Red Bull 2. Miami FC actually had the edge. They beat Charlotte, but other than that, both teams are really struggling for form. That's not the case. We've reached the point in the season where it's not about who you are, it's what you can be in the next 90 minutes.
And looking at what Bob Lilly will put out there, he said there will be some changes, and there are.
Not surprised as to where they are in terms of the midfield and the wingback position. Couple injuries. Also, lots of games in the near future for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Armstrong and Rivera into the wingback spots. What does the midfield 3 look like, especially with Williamson and Dixon up top? Shane Weed onto the back line. Jake Leaker into goal. Danny Vidiello gets the night off. Miami FC and Paul Dalglish makes 2 changes, but 3 overall on the back line because Palacios is going to rotate from center back to right back. He's pretty much played every single position on the field. More of that to come. Baggio, outside back. Antonelli, his first start since Charleston Battery in mid-June. The middle 3 and front 3 remain unchanged. Again, the midfield and attacking options up top are fantastic. They need to solidify their defensive unit if they want to make a run at the #1 overall down the stretch.
So it is a beautiful night in the Steel City, and we are ready to go in the Atlantic Division for the second time ever. It's the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Miami FC. Kickoff is coming up next.
Before, you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Dixon still going and scoring!
With the Riverhounds Mini Flex Plan, you get 6 tickets and only pay for 5. Flex plans are 6 vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season. Use them all for 1 game or spread them out through the season. With 3 different plans starting at $90, you can choose anywhere in Highmark Stadium to cheer on the Hounds. Visit riverhounds.com/flexbooks or call 412-865-GOAL.
Wow. Wow.
The new $3 million payout from the PA Lottery. With prizes that big, heads will be turning. Keep on scratching.
The summer rolls on with another midweek matchup for your first place Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC at Highmark Stadium. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are in town next Wednesday, August 18th for a special 6 p.m. showdown. It's Hounds Night with special prices on beer, pop, and hot dogs through halftime. Discounted prices available for group purchases, or call and ask about our mini flex plans. Visit riverhounds.com or talk to a ticket representative at 412-865-GOAL.
We are back here in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, building up to first kick. It's the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Miami FC. We start off this Wednesday night with a good matchup in the Atlantic Division. The crowd is ready for this one. A sunny day, and Bob Lilly and Paul Dalgleish talking pregame. You talked to Paul Dalgleish on USL All Access. He really talked about how much he likes Bob Lilly.
The legend, a living legend, Bob Lilly is. And there's an admiration from Paul Dalgleish of what he has done, what he is capable of doing, and the matchup within this game. Josh, he understands that he is one of the best, if not the best coaches in the entire USL Championship, and his ability to go out, scout the players, and get everybody to buy into his system is unfounded. He replicates it every single season at a really high level.
We are just about set to go. It is Miami in orange today, and it is Pittsburgh in all white. There's the opening whistle, and we are underway. Ismir Pekmic is tonight's referee. It is Pittsburgh and Miami, some midweek action in the Atlantic Division. We showed you the standings coming into tonight. It's first versus third. But a chance for Miami to potentially put a dent into that advantage at the top for the Riverhounds. And last time out, Bob Lilly said his team wasn't great against Charleston. They still were able to get a 3-2 win on the road. Not an easy place to play at Patriots Point. Heavy first touch there by Ariel Martinez. And this rolls out of play. On the other side for Miami FC, it's been a week since they played. Last Wednesday, they were up in Hartford, Connecticut, a 1-1 draw. Othello Boss scored the lone goal on the day. So both these teams coming in off results. Last time out, Miami, 2 straight road games, trying to get back on the winning track. And that's a look at Jake Leaker. He makes his 4th start today. His last start was June 30th against Loudoun. That was a 2-1 loss for the Riverhounds. So Danny Vitiello moves to the bench today. Already a foul in the middle, and Danny Griffin getting tangled up. Mr. Do-It-All for this Pittsburgh Riverhounds side.
In terms of the difference between the two, it is interesting. Tactically, how far these teams have come, and you look at a team like Miami FC, last time out, 7 players that did not play in their positions within this match now. You have guys like Robert Baggio, who moves onto the back line, but they had moved him into a more advanced role into the midfield. Ariel Martinez at that point in time was playing as the 10, where Paul Dalgleish said, you know what, I need to do a better job of managing his legs. So they bump him up to the center line. You would think, wow, center forward running all the time. But the way that he combines drop downs in almost creates a diamond at certain points in time to allow others to play off of him. It's been the evolution of Miami FC. Of course, Paco Craig and Luca Antonelli are constants.
Centrally, Williamson moves it along. Here's the shot, and it's saved by Connor Sparrow. Flag stayed down. Leonardo Forbes starting that attack.
And how about for the Riverhounds with really a traditional flat 4 last time out. Jordan Dover, his services were still able to be rendered at that point in time. And we're going all the way back to June 12th in that 1-1 draw.
Francois will latch onto this. Takes a touch and plays it out wide. Martinez will take him into the corner. Deflecting around, throw into Pittsburgh. Sparrow will send this back downfield. He has played every minute so far this year. This is a good ball in behind. It's touched by Leaker. It rolls out of play. Othello Ba was asking for a corner kick, and he can't believe it's a goal kick that's given.
Quickly coming off the back line from Connor Sparrow. Little restart, and as he goes long up over the top, just watch the break off. Really well read by Ba here. I don't necessarily see the touch there, though, Josh, that he was talking about.
Wishful thinking. Bob was the one who scored last time out. There's a look at Bob Lilly. He says his team's definitely scoring more and creating chances. They've been a bit more consistent, but we were talking about this before the game off air in that he is such a performance-based coach. It's not necessarily about getting the wins. They've been on a great run of form, but it's really about that performance.
You have to find a way, especially at this point in time, Josh. You've worked through what you wanted. Most coaches that you talk to, and we've made reference on this before, that it's that 8, 10 to 12 game mark to figure out, okay, who are we? Because you can put pen to paper and all that stuff, but sweet little ball over cross. Until you actually see this start to take shape, you don't know what you're going to need to work on. You could say, we're going to go get this striker. Here's what we want in midfield. What if it's injuries? What if it's misplacement because you have to move someone out of their comfort zone and move them to another position? Richie Ballard from Miami FC is a great example of that. You take a guy who's an out-and-out striker, you'll know about that, Indiana boy. Move him into a midfield-ish type role. Bounce him around between striker and midfield at Louisville and move him onto the back line. They put him there out of necessity. They didn't have anybody else to play there. It was either him or Cristiano Francois. So they said, okay, we'll try Ballard, see what happens. And it's worked out fantastic. But you get to this point in a season where, okay, we know who we are. Now let's go and execute. And what can we do for the next 90 minutes? Because now you're going to start to see a lot more chemistry between teams. You'll see the level continue to raise. And you'll see little tweaks as opposed to massive adjustments that you saw early on in the season.
And it's always interesting to see those adjustments game to game with teams who have played each other maybe for the third or fourth time, as we'll see in the run-in of this season. This is only the second time these two teams have played. They'll face each other about a 2-week span, both those games in October and in Miami. So these two teams not done with each other this season. On diagonal ball, Baggio will track this down. Now cutting infield, Walker. Francois. Walker now playing chase. And this cleared away. Antonelli, Paco Craig form that center back tandem as Martinez has his legs taken out.
It's an interesting little setup on the interior for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It does allow them, with so many numbers, to really convolute the passing lanes for Miami FC, coming right back through. But there's the drop down in that I talked about for Ariel Martinez. Just a massive understanding of this system, what Paul Dalglish expects of him, and all the players see it too. I looked at you, and the ball he played last time out in this matchup was ridiculous. And he's pretty much taken that platform, used it as a springboard for the rest of the season so far, to the tune of 4 goals and 3 assists. Not too shabby.
Quixote steps in and now plays this centrally. Here's Martinez. Trying to cut infield. He was cut off. Baggio play this back calmly for Connor Sparrow. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Giveaway in midfield. Williamson was cut off by Antonelli, who came charging forward. And here's Alex Dixon, who's on some run of form. He's taken off the ball. Akinyote stepped in. 5 goals in the last 3 games, including a brace last time out for the Riverhounds, and last time he was here as well. So 4 in the last 2.
Would expect the way that they are lined up here today. Definite possibility for him to add to those tallies with all the space that's left in behind, as high as the outside backs like to get for Miami FC. Almost pinched like a inverted triangle up top for the Riverhounds. Williamson sitting up top of that, Dixon and Bernardo Forbes just underneath. A little heavy on the left, though. You'll notice that Ezra Armstrong, at least at this point in time, is sitting a bit deeper to help out Preston Kilwine. That's the speed they're trying to counteract against Cristiano Francois on the right flank. Anthony Velarde on the right side playing a bit higher.
Armstrong earning his first start today, his 5th appearance overall. The 22-year-old out of North Carolina. Spent some time with the SKC Academy. Fall for Walker. Speedy Williams trying to find Francois, who's making that diagonal run. Williams again in the middle. And now it's Martinez who tries to spray this out wide. A bit too far for Palacios. Getting the start at right back today.
He was actually part of the midfield trio with Ariel Martinez and Deshaun Anglin. Last times these teams matched up. That's part of the 7 that I talked about that have changed for Miami FC and for Junior Palacios. Everything that he's been able to do for this club. What a journey it's been, huh, Josh?
Sure has been.
Think about the fact that playing at the outside back spot right now. Put him as center back last game out. They've moved him into midfield as a holding midfielder. They've bumped him in front of the 6. Really asked him to do so much, Junior Palacios, and at the same point in time, as instrumental as he is, really cast aside at the beginning of all this. Not even an opportunity to play. Started as a trialist, but how did that trial come about? From watching his team play outside.
Outside the fences.
How ridiculous is that? Standing there, hanging out, lost puppy, nobody wants to play with me. And then all of a sudden talks his way into a trial, and look at him now.
Well, the funny thing about that is how often would a coach even come over and talk to somebody like that?
Never.
I mean, it's just
Never.
a guy. It's just a guy watching practice.
Yeah. But think about the work ethic as well. Come from Colombia. Actually played for a team in my backyard, Boca Raton FC, NPSL. Had a couple of friends on that when he was there. Nelson Vargas, at that point in time, head coach of Miami FC, part of that conversation. And to just think about who he's playing around. Right now, he's on the back line with Paco Gregg, usually regarded as one of the best defenders in the entire USL Championship.
Yep.
Luca Antonelli. We don't really need to talk about his pedigree, but we can if you want to. And everything.
Serie A.
Yep, Serie A, Milan. Of course, the Azzurri, Italian men's national squad. You look at Speedy Williams in front of him. For a player to persevere through all of that, take a chance, and have a club take a chance on him, and then earn a contract. It's fantastic stuff.
Here's Walker, the Jamaican international. Participated in the Gold Cup for the Reggae Boys alongside teammate Speedy Williams. Now Velarde. Get all those orange jerseys back defending. Dixon gives it away in the midfield. Francois. And now Williams. Puts it out wide for Palacios. Early stages here at Highmark Stadium. Pittsburgh trying to hold on to that top spot. Tampa will have 2 games in hand after tonight. Can Pittsburgh grow that gap even more at the top of this division? It's going to be a fun little battle between those two sides. Dixon showing a burst of pace. He gets taken down. Antonelli lunged in, and that's a yellow card.
Just a mistimed tackle from Luca Antonelli on the back line. He knows it too immediately. This is the quick wit of Alex Dixon, though. We just talked about the space in behind the outside backs as Baggio starts to come back into your picture. Dixon sees it, lures Antonelli, and then that quick little touch out in front owns him. Great movement by Alex Dixon out of the midfield to spring forward.
Antonelli's Just 6th appearance, 3rd start and 1st since June 19th. It's been season, he's battled injuries, but he is back in this lineup. And now a set piece opportunity, and of course it'll be Kenardo Forbes. Might he have a slight peek at goal here? He is the assist man though for this year. Of course, the leader in this league. Here's Forbes. He'll cross this in to the back post. Looked like Wheat was up for it. And it's Pittsburgh's first corner kick of the match. Forbes will stride over to take this spot kick there from the corner flag. Driving this one in. Cleared away. Paco Craig was up for it. Armstrong keeps this in. Here's Forbes. The Riverhounds will reset here at midfield. A misplaced pass goes right out of play. Armstrong trying to find Kilwine. Baggio lofts it in behind. Othello Ba. Some pressure from Wheat. He's asking for that jersey pull. To throw in coming for Miami. Walker cutting in field. Here's Speedy Williams, and now Francois. Among his many stops in the USL, did play for Pittsburgh a few years back as Baggio crosses this in over everybody's head and out of play. Francois, 4 goals when he spent 2018 here in the Steel City. And previous to that, he did play for the Rochester Rhinos as well, so he knows Bob Lilly quite well.
Already a tweak from him as well when discussing all of the teams that have been under the tutelage of Bob Lilly over the years. There's a big difference now, especially within this team in this season. And I said to you before coming on air, it was nice to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? That I led him down the line, that I wanted to get the answer that I was really looking for. And that doesn't always happen with coaches. And with Bob Lilly, it was, he had previously said to us that this roster was stronger than last year. Last year was a really good team. 2019, a very good team. But he even said this team was better. And I thought about it. He made this quote about 3-4 weeks back and the run that they've been on. And so when I brought him to the table this time, the questions, I said, is this team better because you guys are better footballers? You seem to play a bit more. Because historically under Bob Lilly, whether it was in Hershey or Rochester, and even the start here back in 2018 at Pittsburgh, defensive-minded squads. Any player that plays for him will tell you it's regimented, he's specific, he will get the best out of you, but he tells you what he wants. And that's usually defensive-minded, and then you attack going the other direction. This team plays. They put it on the deck, they spread it around. There is an adaptability within this squad that is very difficult to make comparison to within the USL Championship. I mean, even today, they started 3-4-3 flat. They bumped up into a triangle where they pulled Dixon and Kenardo Forbes underneath. They've already made another change, sent Velarde to the left wing, brought Alex Dixon to the right. With all of that movement, there then has to be adjusting from the opposition. Miami FC 20 minutes in, though the Riverhounds haven't been overly threatening, Miami FC is non-existent offensively. So think about that. All of this right now comes down to control. And it comes down to control for the Riverhounds at home. You looked at me and said, Who do you think wins this game? Pittsburgh doesn't lose at home. That is a battle you do not want to fight. And the fact that Bob Lilly has changed 15, 16 minutes in, that's not good. That means his brain is going, and he's miles ahead of the match, having an idea of how to find a positive outcome.
Well, that's what Danny Griffin told you on USL All Access. He's never content. He can never get complacent with what is going on out there. Here's Baggio. Walker finds a little pocket of space. Now comes in field. Lamar Walker, it's right at Leaker.
The way the setup is, Josh, it's going to be about individual brilliance right now for Miami FC. Now, I'm just talking about the opening 20 minutes because they've removed the best assets, the Riverhounds. It's the midfield trio. So how do you get an opportunity out of it? You got to beat someone one-on-one, and sometimes you're going to have to break down 2 or 3 players. That's how it plays out for Lamar Walker. And he's good enough, too. Needs to fine-tune some of those areas within his game, but the athletic ability, his IQ, he reads this game with the best of them in this league. You put all that together, it's going to be a scary outcome if you can put it all together.
Played over the top again. Baggio trying to win that second ball. There's Shane Wheat. All he can do is knock it out of play. Paco Craig dispossessed for just a moment. Now he gets it back. Came into tonight 3rd most passes across the league, Paco Craig. Everybody, though, pretty far behind Sean Tosh of Lou City for most passes. Baggio keeps it moving. Othello Bob. It's cut off, and it's out for a goal kick. The Riverhounds are back in action at Highmark Stadium next Wednesday, August 18th, 6 p.m. against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's Hounds Night with discounted draft beer, pop, and hot dogs throughout halftime. You can visit riverhounds.com or call the box office at 412-865-GOAL. Played over the top for Francois. He was cut off that time as well, and it's knocked away. Pittsburgh will look to play out. There's Robinson striding forward. Now Forbes, look at that little cut in field. Tried to keep going. Paco Craig slid in. Still there here for Pittsburgh. Forbes battling. Forbes has it saved by Sparrow. Look at all that hard work from Kenardo Forbes.
That's some kind of tackle from Paco Craig to thwart this away, but quality perseverance from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Wave after wave is what you get in transition this year. We just made reference to teams of past. It was isolated incidents. Now, numbers, 5, 6, 7 guys coming, that after the first one gets pushed aside, you have to turn your head and go, okay, where's the next level coming from?
Now Forbes will send in this corner kick for the Riverhounds. Drives this in. Kilwine was up for it. Here's the shot. Maybe even a cross. Forbes keeps it in play, but he was offside. It's already past the midway point of this first half. We've talked about those tactical changes already. See if that can turn into a goal for either side in this latter portion of this first half. Here's Baggio. Able to keep that in play. Akinnyode battling through and keeping it for Miami.
It's an area where Miami FC have really gotten so much better as the season has gone on. We talked about the evolution of a team, Josh. Really tactful, the players that they have. Good skill sets. I mentioned the IQ for someone like Lamar Walker. All of those guys really possess top quality in that area. Combination play. You know, last year, trying to find an identity. Their identity this year started with that quick counterattack style offense. Balls over the top, 100 miles an hour. It's different, though. Approach the midway point of the season, week 17. They can put it down on the deck, knock it side to side. Good combination play on the interior. Overlapping runs. Would say that tonight, the outside back spot, very interesting. I mentioned we moved Junior Palacios off the back line to the right back spot. Well, with that movement, you lose some attacking quality, and also, where's the shape get held?
Here comes Pittsburgh. Velarde, the trailing run. Here's Alex Dixon. Big challenge going to ground by Paco Craig, and he got it just right. Maybe a chance for Miami to counter and use some of that pace. And here is the speedy Cristiano Francois. Now he'll lay this back. There is the man we call Speedy. Francois.
Notice that's that space I was talking about, though. As you push high on the right side, Palacios wasn't actually trying to get into the attack, or had overcommitted in terms of the shape of the team. And then you have to have the proper balance. Baggio was up too. With the amount of pace that they have, Miami FC going forward, you have to be very cognizant of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds as well, because Alex Dixon can go, Velarde can go, Ezra Armstrong, Rivera, all of these guys possess an equal amount of speed to attack with. Now, they can slow it down too, so can Miami FC. But if you're going to make a mistake, make sure it's calculated. You know, one of those balls dinked over the top, the long diag, 30, 40 yards. You want to challenge the shape of the team, that's fine. But don't do it 20 yards from net, and certainly don't do it when the squad opposite you has numbers.
More pressure put on Leaker. It's a tough matchup on that far side, with Armstrong earning his first start. He's going right up against Cristiano Francois. That's a lot of pace to deal with.
But he has the help over his shoulder in pressing Kilwine.
He does.
That's the difference. If you look where Velarde is in the lineup compared to Ezra Armstrong, they're really dropping Armstrong into a flat 4, to be fair. Now they're bumping up into the midfield as well to try and find some combination play as they start to move forward. But as he sits, he's got the inside help from Kilwine. Anthony Velarde much higher, so Robinson is tucked inside next to Shane Wheat. And there's this space on the left flank that they really haven't tried to attack as frequent as you would think.
Francois dispossessed, and here comes Pittsburgh. It's Dixon. Find the feet of Robinson. Down the channel, and Sparrow is there to claim it. With the header to clear this away. Pittsburgh able to keep it in. And they'll look to play out. Here's Griffin. Now, August is USL Supporters Month, and we want to hear from you. Visit uslchampionship.com/supporters-month for more information on how you can get involved and have a chance to be featured as the supporter of the week. Rivera dropping deeper. Now here's Wheat. Long spell of possession here for the Riverhounds. Not many shots to speak of in this match so far. Just 5 total. It's Rivera looking to play this in behind. Here's Dixon, and he was offside.
What a ball. Beautiful
was great.
ball. I mean, it's a bit slow, to be fair, in their build-up 30 minutes into the match. They've had some opportunities where they could have gone faster, but that's the end product they're looking for. Alex Dixon just a touch off, but well worked through the middle.
Walker was cut off by Kilwine. And Forbes is fouled by Walker. Just past the half-hour mark. There's Robinson providing some width now on this right side for Pittsburgh. Velarde. Something Bob Lilly told us this week, he wants his team to take better care of the ball, trying to be a bit more efficient in possession. They've had quite a bit of it here in the last few minutes. They pay it off. Here's Forbes. Griffin keeps it moving. Robinson. And a throw-in. It's time to throw, and we'll go to Miami. Let's go back and look at that through ball.
How close is it? Oh, it's close. It's close. That's very close. Remember, it's right when he plays, and Paco Craig is actually the deeper one. There was a little switch there with Antonelli. No tie goes to the runner there.
No, that's down the river to the right.
Yeah, well played.
Here's Martinez curling this in too close to Leaker. Here's Forbes. He starts something here for Pittsburgh. Tries to play this ball square. Well, the Riverhounds without Albert Dikwa tonight. Sounds like he could be out a little bit longer as well. He's been that target striker, part of that dangerous front three for the Riverhounds. So a big opportunity now for the San Jose Earthquakes loanee and Tommy Williamson to step into this role. 2 goals, 2 assists, 12th pick out of Cal Berkeley.
You want a fun homework assignment? I challenge you this. Keep an eye on Ariel Martinez, who's basically playing Peter Pan right now for Miami FC, looking for a shadow that is Danny Rivera. Danny Rivera almost man-marking right now, the space right in front of the back line. If you watch on the turnovers and they start to get back defensively and Miami starts to move into their zone, Danny Rivera is one-on-one marking Ariel Martinez.
Yeah, there he is.
There's the little step through. Comes all the way back. Martinez is so frustrated because he can't get the ball in. Rivera steps over, does a good job still holding the space on the inside as well. But look, over the right shoulder, always knows where he is.
That's a good catch. That's a little fun matchup to watch. Here he is on the ball. Dello Ba, he was dispossessed as well. Rivera helping over.
And now comes one of my favorite ones for anybody at the stadium that's listening or any of the Steel Army at home. Found out about a fun little game they play. Got an opportunity to interview Dan Yost from the Steel Army. And apparently, anytime you mention Lily Ball, there's one for you, friends, and Tyler Pasher, there's 2. There may or may not be a little sip going on with an adult beverage. But what I'm getting at here is a similar role was played last season, and Danny Rivera man-marked Tyler Pasher on the interior of the field. Now, Indy 11 ended up getting out of here with a win, but interesting that Bob Lilly goes back to that after all of that time, right? A player that is so dynamic, you know everything's going to run through him, and at certain points in time, you're removing the ability to challenge space, but you're also removing the ability of Ariel Martinez to have an impact on this game.
Such an influential player for this Miami FC side. 4 goals, 3 assists. These last few minutes, just been a lot of Pittsburgh on the ball. I think you're looking for options.
They've almost pinched the midfield into a diamond at times. I told you, they're just numerous is the wrong word to use, the amount of looks that the Riverhounds will give you. Drop into the 4, spread your center backs wide. Shane Wheat, Preston Kilwine, part of that equation. Rivera comes underneath, makes it easier on him when he's trying to find out where Martinez is. Then Velarde, Griffin take a little step up, branch themselves out. What goes on in front of them is even more fun with Alex Dixon, Kenardo Forbes, who are really given free reign at this point in time. Wandering side to side, Dixon slides out of the pocket, Forbes goes in. Williamson pretty much the outlet pass right now. Just like a target guy to play off of and connect everybody. And yet through all this defensively, Miami FC's not doing a poor job at all. They're marking up, they're tracking the runners. It's a bit too slow from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds because the ideas are there. Just lacking a little bit of speed on the implementation. It allows Miami FC defensively to stay properly set up.
Rivera striding forward. Rivera keeps going and wins back possession. He's tripped up. And a free kick to the Riverhounds. This in a good spot. Palacios getting tangled up.
Yet still with the ability to step out. We just talked about him in the matchup against Martinez. And yet as he pinches back inside, good footwork on one side. Palacios a little slow to react on the other. Doesn't agree with the referee, but it is a foul. Does King Kenny fancy himself from this direction? Alex Dixon feels like he has to say.
Looks like Tommy Williamson standing around it as well. It's a veteran move, wiping the spray away, moving the ball up a couple inches. Here is Williamson, who looks like he might fancy himself here. The youngster will take it. He goes for goal, and he scores! What a strike! Tommy Williamson! It's a brilliant opener for the Riverhounds.
They'll take it any way they can get it. San Jose goes and gets him for a reason. This is just one of them. The skill set coming out of Cal and his ability to get this up and then drop it down. Spectacular. Almost impossible for Connor Sparrow to read this appropriately and still get low to it. What a strike from distance from Williamson.
Williamson's third goal on the season, and he has scored some great goals. Remember his equalizer late in the game against Charleston a few weeks back to salvage a point there on the road, and finally all of that possession pays off here for the Riverhounds. They have a 1-0 advantage with the final 5 minutes upcoming here in this first half. You mentioned a few minutes ago with Albert Dikwa potentially being out for a bit. Williamson stepping in. Well, he's showing that he might be the man for the job. And now Martinez is fouled, and a free kick the other way to Miami FC. There's that man marking Rovira and Martinez getting to know each other tonight.
It'll be all night long until Bob Lilly decides to make another change, right? That's how good Martinez is, though. Slides in and out. It happens so quick. If you're Daniel Rivera, you have to be so understanding of where he is at all points in time, if that is the role you're going to fulfill. And now, can you go tit for tat on the other end? Little Groundhog Day for Miami FC, possibly?
Walker with that right foot, Martinez on the left. It'll be Ariel Martinez to clip this in. Paco Craig's header is right at Leaker. I'm not sure if that was an offside trap or they just weren't ready.
It just looked like everybody was standing as he hit this ball. And sitting right on that back line as it comes back up over the top. Offside position maybe, but the top of your screen, Danny Rivera underneath the wall. Difficult to tell. Paco Craig's got a free look at it. Should have done better. Good response, though. This is what Miami FC needs. Paul Dalglish urging his boys on right now. You go in 1-0, that's one thing. Don't go in with your heads down. Go in fighting, come out swinging. Make sure that you're not bowing out of this.
Fellow Ba trying to keep this alive for Miami. Pulls it back for Baggio. Well, the Riverhounds have added premium suites for the 2021 season, exclusive and private suites with premium menu options. Check out the balcony that overlooks all the action and a majestic view of Pittsburgh skyline. You can visit riverhounds.com or call the box office at 412-865-GOAL. Here's Bob going up aerially with Griffin. Walker. To look right into that sunlight. Lay this back for Martinez. Got tangled up with Williamson. It's a foul against Miami's number 10. Free kick, Riverhounds. Here's Griffin covering all that space for the Riverhounds. Finds himself here in the attacking third. Sending this across. Sparrow just has to paw this away. Palacios will be able to track it down. It's a space that Danny Griffin is fairly familiar with in his prior years. And here comes Miami and Lamar Walker. That pass off the mark, but cleared out of play. Throw in Miami.
Nice to have that if you're really in your back pocket. Danny Griffin for the Friars of Providence. Attacking midfielder turned 8 by day, 6 by night. Playing alongside Rivera, Canardo Forbes. Got an opportunity to learn from some of the best, but that man right there reigns supreme over everybody. His strike just before halftime.
Your score at halftime, the
from the dead ball. What a one from
IAFC
distance. Little medical attention for him. Riverhounds, you don't want to say well-deserved, but definitely enough to own the lead heading into halftime.
So a good start in this first 45 minutes for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And when they lead at halftime, they have not lost this season. 8-0-1. We'll see if that continues. So far, so good for the home side. It's halftime here in the Steel City. It's Pittsburgh 1. It's Miami 0.
The summer rolls on with another midweek matchup for your first place Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC at Highmark Stadium. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are in town next Wednesday, August 18th for a special 6 p.m. showdown. It's Hounds Night with special prices on beer, pop, and hot dogs through halftime. Discounted prices available for group purchases or call and ask about our mini flex plans. Visit riverhounds.com or talk to a ticket representative at 412-865-GOAL.
Hey, I'm Mike Rowe, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
Dixon still going and scoring!
With the Riverhounds Mini Flex Plan, you get 6 tickets and only pay for 5. Flex plans are 6 vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season. Use them all for one game or spread them out through the season. With 3 different plans starting at $90, you can choose anywhere in Highmark Stadium to cheer on the Hounds. Visit riverhounds.com/flexbooks or call 412-865-GOAL.
Welcome back to halftime here in Pittsburgh. Miami FC and the Riverhounds. Well, another busy week across the USL Championship. Let's see what Devin Kerr has on the dish.
Week 16 of the dish, but we're actually going to talk about 14 different things of sorts. We're going to get there. Let's start with Haji Berry, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC versus Hartford Athletic. Haji Berry from the spot, 15th on the season. He would have his 16th last night, a 1-1 draw against Memphis 901 FC. Does it really count if it's upon the penalty mark? Yes, it does. That's your Golden Boot winner right now. Connor McGlynn only scores bangers. What a ball by Budati. Better goal by McGlynn, 1-1. Then we go back and forth. Michi Galina, he scores 2. They got another guy that scores goals and apparently won gold medal for his floor routine. 5th goal on the season. But again, back and forth and back and forth. Rocket, yep. That's a dummy. The step over, not the player who ran by. 3-1 Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Hartford Athletic, respond. Ni Arma Ashiti. Check this ball, check the finish. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. Oh, what a strike from distance by Niarma Ashiti. They're back in it. 3-2. Switchbacks FC respond. Andre Lewis scores his first in the 51st. Yeah, see the math. We know the math is off. Scores his second in the 63rd. Assist, Michi Galina, 7 assists on the season. 7 assists on the season. Not to be outdone by Atlanta United, who absolutely torched Indy 11. Indy 11, it's a wake-up call. Because not 1 and not 2, 3 from Tyler Wolff. Hat trick. 5th on the season. Actually, to be fair, it would be 3, 4, and 5. I mean, dear Lord, what are you doing, Eric Dick? Wrong player, wrong direction. It's wrong everything. It's just downright wrong, except for Atlanta United 2, who keeps scoring. Mateus in the 53rd. Joe in the 58th. The assist from, you guessed it, Tyler Wolff. 3 goals and an assist. Don't mind if you do. Mejia in the 95th. Nick Moon, Peter Lee Vassell, add insult to injury, 6-2. All right, what else we got? So, highlight stats. Through your curve. We're going to talk about the Golden Boot race. Haji Berry, 16th as mentioned. Nico Brett, 2 Bs. Don't make a right. Yes, they do, because Cameron Lancaster's in there. Gwen Zadi. Seba. Seba's in there too. Lancaster, that header's naughty, and it's rude, and it's ridiculous, and it's unnecessary, but it's lethal. Friendly Englishman. Gwen Zadi. Talk about goals from the spot. He's got a couple himself. El Capitan for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Young Player of the Year, Ronaldo Damas. Is he the Young Player of the Year if he's already been in the league at League One? I think yes. I vote yes. Highlights, stats, all that stuff. See ya.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Tees it up, what a strike, and what a goal! Hartford has a goal!
And Lou City double their money! And how sweet the sound in Lynn Family Stadium!
Before, you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Have you heard about the new Tailgate Zone at Highmark Stadium? The Tailgate Zone is located just outside of the Highmark Stadium West Gate for all remaining 2021 home matches starting 2 hours before kickoff. You can hang out pregame through halftime of Hounds home games and enjoy local brews and drinks, local food trucks, and music as part of the match day festivities. Visit riverhounds.com for more information or call 412-865-GOAL.
Still halftime here at Highmark Stadium in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look around the USL Championship. News and notes from around the league. Supporters Month, you can go online to uslchampionship.com/supporters-month for more information. And as you mentioned, Tyler Wolff, a hat trick. He's the player of the week.
By the way, he did that in 58 minutes of time. Hat trick and an assist. 2 goals in 6 minutes. Now, to be fair, Eric Dick didn't do many favors, but Mark Lowry, El Paso Locomotive, I keep saying it, they're not getting enough credit. That team, only 1 loss of the season. They haven't lost a home game since July of 2020. Go figure.
That is very impressive. The train just keeps on chugging along there. The Clear Audio Team of the Week. Plenty of good performances here. I got to give credit to Jermaine Forda, the goalkeeper. He kept Charlotte off the score sheet. A solid performance there for Forda last week. And, of course, headlined by Tyler Wolff, the Player of the Week. And what is to come for the USL on ESPN? Well, you'll be back with Mike Watts, September 7th, Hartford and Lou City, ESPN2. That's an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. Lou City on the road, by the way. Hartford Athletic, again, a lot of talent, depth. I wonder, they don't rotate as many pieces as other teams do. I'm curious what load management looks like for them down the stretch, right? Only halfway through, because they rely on their guys, which are good.
Yep.
But as you hit that three-quarter pole and 8 games to go, 6 games to go, can those long legs still have a fight left in them?
We will see. We will see. Halftime is just about complete here in Pittsburgh. Second half is on the way.
Wow.
Wow. The new $3 million payout from the PA Lottery. With prizes that big, heads will be turning. Keep on scratching.
The summer rolls on with another midweek matchup for your first place Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC at Highmark Stadium. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are in town next Wednesday, August 18th for a special 6 p.m. showdown. It's Hounds Night with special prices on beer, pop, and hot dogs through halftime. Discounted prices available for group purchases, or call and ask about our mini flex plans. Visit riverhounds.com or talk to a ticket representative at 412-865-GOAL.
Before you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Have you heard about the new Tailgate Zone at Highmark Stadium? The Tailgate Zone is located just outside of the Highmark Stadium West Gate for all remaining 2021 home matches starting 2 hours before kickoff. You can hang out pregame through halftime of Hounds home games and enjoy local brews and drinks, local food trucks, and music as part of the match day festivities. Visit riverhounds.com for more information or call 412-865-GOAL.
Back here in Pittsburgh, it's 1-0 to the Riverhounds as we get set to start this second half. Before that, let's look back on the first half. First half highlights, and the chances would start early and often for the Riverhounds. Down that left side, Dixon, who's been in good form, but found Kenardo Forbes.
Thought they lacked a bit of pace, though, in some of the transitional movements because, as we mentioned a couple of times in the first half, and rightfully so, the ideas were there. The space was there. But they slowed it down a lot. Miami FC on the other side, they did not. They continued to apply pressure in a quick-fire nature where you go up over the top, you go direct. This is direct from Sparrow to Othello Ba. Thought maybe we might see another goalkeeper assist. Joe Kuzminski is sitting somewhere at home, wondering whether or not that title would be taken away from him. Good little move on the inside. This is about the 15, 20-minute mark. Josh, I said they'd taken their best assets away. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds had all but removed the midfield three, and they could not bridge that gap to get to the front line. So what would you have to do? You look into individual efforts where it's got to be Walker or Ba or Francois, someone going in a one-on-one situation. That actually happens for the Riverhounds going the other direction. Danny Rivera with a nice little step through. He gets dropped down by Palacios. Set-piece situation. Williamson up into the back of the net.
A brilliant strike. Williamson, his third goal of the season. And they got Pittsburgh started in that first half. Look at the stats. And it felt like Pittsburgh had a lot of that possession towards the latter half, but the possession in favor of Miami as they search for that first goal.
Efficient in all areas, most important for the managers. That was something that they both preached coming into the match, right? That we needed to be more efficient on the ball, take care of it, be less predictable. They've done all of that almost to a fault, where they've slowed it down to a halt and they've taken away some of their opportunities. some good options. You know, you could use the runs of Alex Dixon. Opening 10 minutes, it was there. They strayed away from that. Where are the long balls to Ba and Francois? They've gotten away from that. Would not be surprised whatsoever if we see changes before the 65th minute mark from either squad.
Well, last time these two teams met, it was also Pittsburgh scoring that opening goal. Cicerone got it early on. Francois responded and ended 1-1 on that day earlier on this season in June. Will there be a similar script here this evening? And one sub at halftime for Miami FC. Janos Luba will come on and replace Luca Antonelli. He did pick up that yellow card, and there's the captain talking to his teammates ahead of this second half. Williamson gets bandaged up as we saw him coming off. Cut on his elbow, but he is ready to go. New jersey and all. They're just about ready to go for this second half. Another sub for Miami to start this second half. It's Sean McFarlane coming on, and he replaces Lamar Walker. We'll see how that changes things come this second 45 minutes. It'll be Pittsburgh to start us off. Now going right to left in those white kits tonight. Ismir Pekmic gets us underway for the second 45 minutes from the Steel City of Pittsburgh. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for starting your Wednesday night with us here on ESPN+. Miami quick to win it back. So two changes at halftime for Paul Dalglish. And two outside backs, correct?
Spot on there. That'll bump Palacios up into the midfield with Akinyoti and Speedy Williams. The question is who's going to be the running mate alongside Paco Craig, and whether or not they drop into a 3 to add one into the mix for the attack. Immediately the answer is yes, they are going to a 3 with Baggio, Craig, and McFarlane on the back line. But that also depends on how high they play on that left side, because you could easily bump Baggio just to the inside, rely a bit more on Paco Craig to stay central, almost like what you see out of Forrest Lasso at the Rowdies, where he tends to fluctuate one side within that 3. And so you can still provide coverage and put Janos Luba onto the left flank in front of Baggio.
McFarlane sends this across for Luba.
Also substitution for Miami, number 19,
Martinez.
Luba, and for number 3.
Looking for Francois. Will deflect back for Jake Leaker in goal.
It does look like that is what Miami FC is going to do. You'll have Sean McFarlane, who can fly at the outside back spot, finally getting him back healthy. Now can they get into 90 minutes match fit? Coming over from Austin Bold and Marcelo Serrano. Baggio comes into the left side of the back line next to Paco Craig. Janos Luba does take up that spot that he's so familiar with on the outside left flank. Really, his counterpart has been Richie Ballard, unavailable. Trying to get him back from injury. That's another thing that this team really struggled with early on, Josh. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. It was Antonelli on the back line, right? You had Richie Ballard involved in that. Martinez, Pierre da Silva they've lost for quite some time. How good was he on the inside and playing as a false 9 as well? And then international duty. It's a great opportunity and recognition for these players to get to go to represent their country, but it has left Miami FC extremely short-handed at times.
At the beginning of June, there were a handful of players, including Othello Ba, who got called in to the Liberian national team. A couple of Jamaicans in this squad as well. Paul Dalglish said it's like your Christmases have come early when you get those players back. The squad gets replenished. And you can see what the potential of this side is. Williamson plays this centrally. Now it falls for Griffin. Velarde. This will deflect out of play. Be interesting to see what the substitutions are as this half continues. Both these teams play on the weekend. Interesting matchup upcoming for Miami FC going to Austin. Pittsburgh will head down south to play Charlotte. So a short week for both these sides. This one laid off. Here comes Pittsburgh. Velarde on the spin.
Pittsburgh's in the span of 8 games in 32 days. Have fun with that.
They've gone through some brutal stretches this year.
Insane. I'm not interested in that hotel bill, by the way.
Here's Forbes.
To be fair for Miami FC, 6 over the next 29 isn't exactly gravy either. Load management, something that Paul Dalglish really talked about heavily in terms of how that role plays out within their squad.
Griffin gets this out wide. Now here comes the cross. Forbes! That's a rocket from Kenardo Forbes! And it's 2-0 to Pittsburgh.
Dear Lord. I mean, what is this from Kenardo Forbes? Otherworldly. From their main man in the middle. This thing is sky high, and as it comes back across, Kenardo Forbes just takes full aim. Everybody talks about King Kenny and what he can do from distribution. Do not fall asleep on this man. You want to introduce yourself to the 2021 campaign in terms of goal scoring? His first goal on the season could be goal of the year. That's some kind of strike from King Kenny.
To catch that as he did, slowly falling out of the air and put that much pace behind it. My goodness.
9 times out of 10, you're off market. I can tell you right now.
Yes.
I promise you. You stay after training numerous times. Even when you go through training and you're running your crossing routines, balls getting knocked in, everybody wants to line one up, hit it as hard as humanly possible. Pick out that upper 90 and go for glory. Usually it does not happen.
This falls for Francois, and he pulls one right back. How about that? The Cheetah. It's 2-1, and now game on once again.
Don't need all the pace behind it when you've got Cristiano Francois inside 12 yards out. He did it just before halftime back on June 12th, does it just after. And this is about the response. The header that catches him off guard, it comes back across. It's an accidental one from Jalen Robinson, falls right into the path of the Cheetah. Springs the attack and the pounce right into the bottom corner to pull back within 1.
So how about that response from Miami? Francois gets another goal this year. It's his 4th. It's also his 2nd against Pittsburgh in this stadium this season. He likes playing against his old team, his old coach. And this one picked off at the back. Here's Martinez. We'll play this back. Williams scores! Oh my goodness, Miami's back level! A speedy response from the men from South Florida.
Very rarely do you see a team like the Riverhounds switch off in this nature. silent would be one thing, but winter has come early. They have gone dormant on the back line. The poor header by Peters just moments ago. Shane Wheat with a gift. Christmas in August. Speedy Williams hasn't scored a goal since May 14th. That also was a quality strike. But to do it in this fashion on the road after going down 2-0 and that type of succession.
Here comes Pittsburgh, and it's Sparrow making the save. Catch your breath.
Dear boys, we need a water break. Slow it down, gentlemen. Easy, easy, boys. Anthony Velarde in the other direction, drops right in front of him. Literally back and forth, and the bounces on the ball right now. It's the header, it's the giveaway. How about the deflection coming off the back line? Lady Luck up above is just toying with Miami FC and the Riverhounds right now.
What a stretch to start this second half. It was a 1-1 draw last time these two teams met. And here comes Miami again. Othello Baugh trying to collect this. Baugh shoots just over the bar. Not too far away from taking the lead.
This is Michael Jordan's Space Jam special sauce at halftime. Whatever these boys were drinking has gone right into their veins. The IV is insane. Bob Lilly beside himself of what's going on defensively.
A minute and 10 seconds between the two Miami goals. Challenge in the middle. It's Griffin taking down Martinez. This will be a conversation with the referee. Martinez still down.
And the shadow had been Danny Rivera, but someone had to step up in here with the ball trying to move side to side. Picking out Ariel Martinez. If we do to go to a hydration break, I would not want to be a fly on the wall for the conversation with Bob Lilly and his boys. That's something you would always want to be privy to. Find an idea tactically how it's breaking down, but 10 minutes into the second half, concede like that. That's going to be a long bus ride home, and with the understanding that they are home. Those boys will be walking.
We mentioned going into halftime that Pittsburgh had only dropped points once when leading going into the half, and it was all the way back early this season, the 1-1 draw against Hartford Athletic on the road. Still a long way to go. We haven't even reached the hour mark, and we've had plenty of fireworks to start this second half. Palacios will have to play this back for Sparrow. If you can't watch the match, turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the app.
Any guesses on next week's guest?
Mike Watts.
Plural, by the way. Well played. Well played. He's on sabbatical with the Cats still.
Okay, good. Plural.
Plural.
Can you give me a division? Is that going to give it away?
No, it won't give it away. I don't know if I want to give you the division, though.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a very wide range
I'll give you a hint.
Of people.
They're in the Central. They're from the same club. We're going to leave it at that for now. You stew on that. I don't want to get into a conversation for fear that someone else is going to score again.
You got to pick and choose our moments here.
That's right. I do like, though, with the addition of Sion McFarland and Janusz Luba. It's one of the great things you get out of Junior Palacios with the coverage in the midfielder spot, whether they're playing with one holding or they go flat across the three. McFarland pushes really high. He can rotate out into that outside back spot to help defensive coverage. But that adds more into the offensive side of things. McFarland goes really high. Francois can pinch in. Ba as well. You really create an attacking front of 4 instead of 3 or even 2 at times.
Luba plays this back. It's deflecting around, and Griffin trying to clear this away. Williams will keep this in for Miami, and Luba picks it up on the far side. Throw into Miami. Francois. And now Palacios. Miami will take some time on the ball, just settling things down after a frantic start to this second period of play. Here's Williams driving this in. It was deflected down. Pittsburgh will be able to play out, but it's won back quickly by Williams, but he gave it away. Now Velarde.
That's good work by Ezra Armstrong, but that's where the youthful exuberance got the best of him. Play a square ball back across in transition. Big no-no.
McFarland striding forward, trying to get around Armstrong. Armstrong does well just to put this out. It's a throw-in. Here's Rivera, all by himself. Looks like a few subs are readying on the Pittsburgh bench. As we expected they might be. Talked about squad rotation coming into the match tonight, right at the hour mark. Trying to get some fresh legs on here and preserve others. As Griffin steps up, almost wins it back.
I told you I would be shocked if we didn't see Russell Cicerone with his speed. It's the perfect combination right now to put him on.
Here's Francois playing this infield. It's just enough of a defensive intervention for Leaker to come away with it.
The Riverhounds would like to wish happy birthday
Imagine
to
you would probably make the
Tyson
same
Netzel.
argument on the other side of the field for Miami FC and
Happy
Othello
birthday
Ba,
to
who's been a little bit
Adam
quiet
Sanchez.
today. Cristiano Francois with the goal. Ariel Martinez
Happy 50th birthday to Rob Regetz.
very busy, taking a couple knocks. And
And a happy
whether or
11th
not you want to
birthday
keep
Luke
him on
Matthewson.
is the #1 question,
We hope
because
you're all enjoying the game.
as this game goes on, I talked about load management, and Paul Dalglish paying so much credit to Andy Thompson in terms of periodization and how they handle that. This is right about the mark where you might see a change, but again, Ba's been off as well.
A cross that sails out of play, and we will get a whole host of substitutions for both sides. There's one for Miami, and it will be Billy Forbes coming into the fray for Miami FC. Scored a big goal a few weeks back to take all 3 points against Charleston. Adnijah Reed will also come on.
There's your answer, change them both. That's got to be for both boys on the front line, you would imagine.
It looks like Russell Cicerone, Louis Perez, and Todd Wharton all coming on. Alex Dixon, Tommy Williamson coming off. Jalen Robinson also will make way.
Well, I told you don't be surprised if you see any changes before the 65th minute. Miami FC have now made 4. Of course, 2 right at the start of halftime, bringing Nuba and McFarland on. That's paid off well. By no means is that a gamble. Can you go the distance now with the changes of Bob Lilly, what he's introduced?
In for number 8, Tommy Williamson.
Here's Forbes. Velarde. Gets this out wide to the right. Here comes the cross. Perez was waiting there. And Sparrow makes the catch. All right, can I make my guess now for USL All Access? Should I guess the team or the personnel?
Also into the game for the Riverhounds.
Well, it's easier for you to guess the team, because if you guess the team, you don't have to worry about the personnel. So I'm not going to give you that luxury.
All right.
So you're going to tell me the team. I will tell you yes or no. If you answer correctly, then you can move on to the people.
This is played over the top. Francois will pick it up. We'll get back to it in a moment. Francois gets this wide. Luba. Birmingham Legion?
Nope.
All right, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board here.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
No further answers until the 75th minute, please.
Oh, wow.
Appreciate
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Here's Reed. And now
Into the game for
McFarland.
Miami FC, number 7, Billy Forbes, and number 20, Adonijah Reed.
Clean challenge team by the referee. Perez got his foot stuck in. So did Williams. Rolls this in. They're coming together. Leaker cleans this up. It was Wheaton Reed coming together.
It's not going to happen. Josh, notice how much more difficult it is for the Riverhounds to play out of the back now. Real high line from Miami FC. Would say that normally that would be a gamble, but as slow as the Riverhounds have been in transition today, they're happy to play that game because they come up. Riverhounds trying to play off their back line. Pittsburgh really doesn't have anywhere to go. There's no outlet options. You know, in the first half, they would play into Williamson and allow someone like Dixon or Forbes or even push a high line off Velarde to play off of. That's not the case anymore.
We had that frantic start to this half. Things have calmed down just a little bit, but Miami in possession. Here's Forbes. Janos Luba rolls this in. Francois. Now Palacios will pull this back on his left foot. Ooh. Off the woodwork. Right off the elbow. So close to another one for Miami. Going to ground and winning this back. And then Griffin. Boy, this game has picked up some steam in this second 45 minutes. And Leaker will grab this.
What went on at halftime?
I'm trying
that was
figure
next
this
level
out.
stuff. I mean, the footwork, little cut back across, left foot. Talked about the upper 90.
Here's Perez. Forbes trying to find Cicerone. And Luba will knock this clear. Trying to go quick over the top. Leaker.
Uh-oh.
There was a collision. Paul Dalgleish apoplectic in conversation with the referee. It's more of a one-way conversation. So that for sure a talking point. We'll get back to it in just a moment. Talk about that space in behind. With the pace that Miami has at its disposal, cannot give them an inch. Here's Craig. McFarland right over the top of Armstrong. Well done. And now Palacios. Speedy Williams. Every white jersey back defending here for Pittsburgh. Palacios again. Rolls this along. Baggio. Akinyode and now Luba. Finally knocked clear. The throw in for Miami. Let's go back and look at that last potential foul.
Just watch the trailing foot of Preston Kilwine because it looked to me there was contact, but as they come back through, it almost looks like there when you slow it down, he drags his foot. So right here, shoulder, no foul there. Now watch the foot, no contact. It's the left foot. That's a great job by the refereeing crew, and to be fair, our production crew as well, giving everybody, not even a bird's eye view, ground view of what went on.
Now a corner kick for Miami FC.
If anything, I would say to add to that argument, if he goes down the first time, maybe you get a foul.
Yeah.
Right, because there's that initial contact from Preston Kilwine on Cristiano Francois, but Francois stays on his feet, and then there's a touch out in front, and then his leg, he senses it. You know, all good strikers are going to know where that presence is coming from. And as the pressure comes your direction, do you go to ground?
Here's Reed swinging this in. Leaker able to punch it away. Now it's Francois. And Reed rolling this in all the way to the penalty spot. How'd it sneak through? Shane Wheat will knock this clear for now. Here's Palacios.
That'll leave a mark.
Yeah, it sure will. Francois goes down. Referee will stop play.
Just caught him right in the face. Friendly fire here. How about that strike by Junior Palacios? Remember, he's pretty much played every position. Watch this. I'm going right, I'm going right, I'm going left. Oh my. Give us a kiss, eh? Just needs to be a little bit on the inside. I mean, this is some kind of move he puts on that ball. Unlucky he didn't get better out of it.
Wins crossbar challenge. That's about it.
That's too close for comfort in that area.
Francois back on his feet and jogging off. So he'll continue on. Well, Riverhounds fans, mini flex plans are 6 undated vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season to catch the Hounds in action. Use them all for one game or spread them out through the season. On sale now, and plans start at $90. Call the box office at 412-865-GOAL.
So, you posed a question to me at halftime about the stadium. Go ahead and tell the folks.
Yes. Is this the most picturesque stadium in the USL Championship?
I'm having a hard time saying no. When I look at everything. Just going to run down one more time since...
I mean, you get boats, you get trains. I mean, people walking by can check this out. The
even
river's
planes.
There.
Look at this. We're making a movie.
There you go. I've seen that one before.
Of course you have.
The skyline, beautiful. And to be fair, it's all 3 stadiums on the river here.
It's ridiculous.
In Pittsburgh. All have a similar view.
I think it does it for me.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner?
It's got to be. I just looked at all the teams, and respectfully, this is it. To encompass all of that into one. It's not an easy task. And yet, Pretty simplistic here. Steel City, not too bad.
What's your opinion on fries on sandwiches?
Well, I got to be in the mood for it, first off. I've got to be in the mood for that. I do love chips on sandwiches, though. Potato chips in a sandwich.
Okay, but that's not
You know, leftover Thanksgiving turkey with glazed potato. All right, we're off track. Let's go. Back on it.
Just over 15 minutes to go. We saw a flurry of goals at the start of this half. Hope you've been able to catch your breath since. It was Williamson who opened the scoring in the 40th minute. On the other side of halftime, Forbes scored an absolute banger in the 49th minute. 2 minutes later, it was Cristiano Francois. And then a minute and 10 seconds later, it was Speedy Williams. And is there something else in this one tonight? Here's Reed. Remember, this is only the second time these two teams have ever played. Did not play last year. Still 2 more games to come up between these two sides in October, both of them in Miami. This is a Miami side that we talked earlier about performance versus result. They put in a good performance earlier in the season at Tampa, didn't get the result.
Could have won.
Yeah. Then they come back home and beat Tampa twice. They got a point against Pittsburgh already this season, and as things stand, another point against Pittsburgh. Top 2 teams in the Atlantic.
That's quality. And what's funny is Dalglish and I had a little joke about this behind the scenes, because when you go back to a couple of games, it was the, just double checking my math here to make sure I get it right. The June 18th game on the road at Charleston Battery. So they lose 2-1. And I was talking about their upcoming slate of games, specifically the start of July, this run that they were going to go through where Rowdies twice, Hartford, Battery, Hartford again, Pittsburgh. And I said, they might not win a game in a 5 or 6 game stretch. And he said, look, I didn't take offense to that because you might not have been wrong, but look at how they've done. Magnificent performances. Yeah, they've done well. And more importantly, it's been quality football too. It's not just getting results, Josh, to your point. They're playing. You know, they're making other teams around the league take notice. This is a very difficult division to figure out.
There's so much quality. So many different styles of play.
Nobody could beat the Rowdies early on. Everybody crowned them 5 games into the season.
Yeah.
How's that working out? Everybody wondering, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, are they done? Is Bob Lilly over?
No.
Told you not to take that bet. Absolutely not.
No. Well, similar time to when Forbes scored that winner from a similar spot a couple weeks back against the Charleston Battery. And might he look to that left foot again and test Jake Leaker in goal? We've already seen 1 free kick goal on this side of the field in the first half. It's Billy Forbes right off the 4 of Danny Rovira. Got another chance to send this in to the far side, and on the volley, Baggio puts it out of play. That's the other result when you take it on a volley.
Oh, I'm taking a lot of flack behind the scenes.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the phone's lighting up about our opinions
no.
on the picturesque stadiums around the league.
What are some other shouts? I'm honestly curious.
I'm not going to say who's called me out for respect. However, I've gotten a shout from the Rowdies.
Okay.
So the Rowdies have reached out. I don't mind it. My argument back to this person was beautiful. It's picturesque for sure. Just the way that the cameras line up, it's not what you see here.
Correct.
I love the Bay. I'm in for it. Practically grew up there. My brother went to Eckerd College. You know, St. Petersburg, I'm in for it.
Sure.
Also had a shout from somebody at Phoenix that with the desert and the mountains
yes.
and everything, which again, I get it. But just look.
I mean, this is...
You don't even have to pan up.
Yeah.
The other thing is if this conversation's occurring in October and it's snowing, I don't think we're having the same discussion.
Oh, I think that'd be really cool. Played in behind again. Francois bounced up, may have hit a hand on the way. Referee says play on. The Riverhounds are back in action at Highmark Stadium next Wednesday, August 18th, 6 p.m. against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's Hounds Night with discounted draft beer, soda, and hot dogs throughout halftime. You can visit riverhounds.com or call the box office at 412-865-GOAL.
Drop more into a 5 here for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Danny Griffin and Emily Perez really haven't linked up with each other on the inside. Perez haven't really made himself at home at all within this attack going forward on cue. Just look at the inside, the way that Miami FC, they've done such a better job here in the second half of locking down the attacking options.
There's something coming for the Riverhounds. Perez. Cicerone was making that run through the middle. There's 2 lines of 4. Hard to play through here for the Riverhounds.
And with all of it, Todd Wharton heading up the class of substitutes. It's one of the great things you get about him when you do rotate him. Not that it happens often, but playing him off the back line, the step up in. Overload the middle with another attacker. Your back line, Wheat, Wharton, Kilwine, and Armstrong. Totally different look than what you got in the first half for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You bumped Danny Rivera up. But how do you now piece all of that together? There was a lot of build in the first half where you played off of your point men and there were waves coming through. Now, you're not even getting one-offs. There's an argument for you.
And there's a penalty. You can see the emotion from Cristiano Francois. Got himself in a favorable position. It's a yellow card to Preston Kilwine, and a chance to come all the way from behind for Miami FC.
Penalty kick, Miami FC.
Just so difficult to judge Cristiano Francois in transition. And you have to wonder the decision-making. Todd Wharton's there to help. No reason to take him down whatsoever. You've got the coverage. He spins that shoulder on you. Allow it to progress. Wharton comes over, you slide back onto the inside. Really well done by Cristiano Francois to hold the run up because he knows it's coming. He knows he's going to get dropped down.
It's Speedy Williams for Miami FC to try to cap off a tremendous second half comeback. Williams scores! Miami from 2-0 down to 3-2 up on the road in Pittsburgh. What a comeback!
Goal is second of the game, scored by number 80, Speedy Williams.
But still not done yet. Still 8 minutes to go.
And it all comes down to the ball back up over the top. It actually comes fortuitously for Miami FC off the back of Preston Kilwine and then Speedy Williams class. Just take notes. That's a seasoned veteran right there for you. They go get him for other reasons than his ability to convert from the spot, but they'll take that inside 10 minutes. Roared back here in the second half.
So a brace for Speedy Williams.
Riverhound substitutions, number 3, Casey Bartlett-Scott checks in for number 4.
So there
Danny
is
Rivera.
the sub.
Number 19,
Couple, Wyatt Borso will come on. And this is his pro debut, the first player signed by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds to a USL Academy contract. So the youngster gets his debut here today from the Chicago area, along with Casey Bartlett-Scott, who actually played for the Erie Commodores in the 2018 U.S. Open Cup against the Riverhounds. And he makes his Pittsburgh Riverhounds debut today as well. So a couple of new names for the Riverhounds coming on.
It's a heck of a story, right? 3 years later, little jokes about Bob Lilly having him on the radar since that matchup in the second round of 2018. Nice left footer, quality pace. Do they switch sides now? I wonder if they bring him over to the left side to try and get him more involved on that left foot of his. Remember, the eligibility for Borso not in jeopardy because he's on the academy contract, ranked as one of the top 10 forwards in the entire nation within his class by Top Drawer Soccer in 2022. In the springtime, we'll be seeing him committing to some of the bigger names around the nation. Of course, collegiate season right around the corner.
Starts up the next couple weeks. Going back to Speedy Williams for a second, I thought that there was a chance that could be his first brace. It's his second. Scored one against Red Bull 2 all the way back in 2018 for Lou City.
It's not like he's bagging goals left and right.
I know, that's why I thought, all right, maybe this is a chance.
Remember, he nabbed 4 last season for Lou City, but only 5 between 3 seasons prior, 17, 18, and 19.
So a yellow card will come out for Palacios.
Remember, he got knocked a couple of times in the first half and
Miami's number 18,
got into the thought process of the referee. It's been some time coming for the next infraction. Look at how deep Kenardo Forbes is now. They're just trying to find a way to get any of these offensive boys on the ball. Really struggled. I was going to say that's got to be offside.
And the flag goes up.
One thing you can get yourself into trouble with, Josh, with all of the changes is you lack that fluidity in play. He's basically cleared the bench here, Bob Lilly, and he's trying to search for an answer. And he's been doing it for quite some time. You had young boys like Casey Bartlett-Scott, Wyatt Borso into it. Both debuts, regardless of what your skill set is. You pull a midfielder, Todd Wharton, onto the back line. We have seen that before. But when things aren't going your way, you're down a goal, and you're trying to find something, where does that come from? And then another injury as Ezra Armstrong goes down. I can't afford another one.
As things stand, this would be the 3rd home loss of the season for the Riverhounds. They lost their first 2 home games against Charlotte and Austin earlier this season. And they got back on track with that draw against Miami on their home turf. This really would shake things up in that Atlantic Division. This would be a huge boost for Miami's chances. And of course, it would hold Pittsburgh where they are at 33 points. Same amount of games played. The Rowdies now 2 games in hand against the Riverhounds.
With the form being the key factor in that argument, right? I would say that the Tampa Bay Rowdies seem to be back on track. Dropped 3 in a row, the win and the loss, and then right back at it on the weekend. They're never really out, are they? Down sometimes, but never down and out. And you would have to say with their most recent victory, Neil Collins and the boys have to feel much better about themselves as we head into the latter portion of this season.
Here comes the corner kick. And the header looping out of play there by Bartlett-Scott. Pittsburgh on this unbeaten run of 6 straight games, just 1 draw in there. That was a come-from-behind victory, though. Williamson getting the lone goal for the Riverhounds on that day in Charleston, 1-1. There's some late drama here today. This would be the first loss for Pittsburgh when scoring first as well. We go back to talking about how when you think of a Bob Lilly team, it's defense, defense, defense. They've scored a lot of goals this year. Is it that same defensive, mentality, of course, is there, but does it seem a bit different to you, maybe?
The overall quality.
Yes.
Yes, it does. I would say that, what's funny, depending on what division and what conference you're in, you can make an equal trade there. I'll take this team in the Western Conference any day of the week. The problem is defensively in the East, it's different. Anyone will tell you that. The GMs, the coaches, they will all tell you that. Still, one of the most interesting quotes I'd ever gotten was, in my opinion, on that subject was the front office of Phoenix Rising talking about what it was like going to the Rowdies early on this season, the unfinished business game. Remember, that was the final that never happened in 2020 due to the pandemic, and they talked about the brute force, the organization, the physicality of everything, and how difficult it was a matchup. Would say that you're seeing the offense open up for the Riverhounds for sure, and while defensively still good, don't think it's fair to make reference of the teams that we saw in 2020 and 2019. It is different.
It's played down the line, and McFarland will let it run out of play.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time added on.
It's 4 minutes added on at the end here at Highmark Stadium. Is there a late goal in this for Pittsburgh? We've had just about everything else in this second half. Bartlett Scott cutting in field. Forbes is trying to roll back in. Perez as it stabbed away, corner kick.
Beautiful step by Speedy Williams. Tons of space to work with here for the Riverhounds as this comes square back across, and if not for the understanding by Speedy Williams on the middle of the park, this thing's knotted up. He just brings so many different levels to the game for Miami FC.
Forbes whips this in. Header clears this away quickly. There's Armstrong back on the field after getting some medical attention on the far side. Perez lays this off. Borso keeps it moving. Griffin. And finally this thumped clear. He's picked off on the far side. Misplaced there by Danny Griffin. Here's Adonijah Reed. He was dispossessed.
You can throw all the tactics out the window now, even though they're continuing to play. They just need bodies number that can counteract the numbers across from them.
There's Borso. Forbes rolls this along to Wheat. Here comes the cross. That's Williams. This one moves along. Bartlett Scott. In the final minute of play, Francois as well to usher this out of play. And it looks like a substitution here for Miami FC. Jashawn Englund
Miami
will be coming on, replacing Cristiano Francois.
For number 9, Cristiano Francois.
Well, if things hold here tonight, do you think this result says more about Pittsburgh or Miami?
Definitely says more about Miami. You're bound to have a bump on the road for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, even with the run of form that they've been on. You can't win them all. Even Phoenix Rising of 2019 showed us that, right? They won 20. The stumbles at the beginning, the stumbles at the end, stumbling in the playoffs. You would rather have them have some hiccups, some bumps and bruises, if you will. Find ways to work through that and then apply it to your game going forward, as opposed to going on this glorious run, finding ways to win as opposed to finding quality form, which is the most important thing for Bob Lilly and his team. Miami FC, taking nothing away from their performance, they've been great. You come on the road against a stout team atop the Atlantic, you take them down. They've been on a great run of their own, Josh. We've referenced that a few times. It's a statement for them. A statement for them that in the same time last year could not buy a result. And I'm not just talking about a point. Less than a year's time have turned it around and have now taken down the #1 team in terms of standings in the Atlantic Division. This is a heck of a result.
Yeah, coming from 2-0 down, scoring 2 goals within 70 seconds, and then the penalty at the end by Williams to win it. We will come back, try to make sense of it all, but what a night it was here in the Steel City. We saw some great goals. It was a great finish, and it finishes here from Highmark Stadium. Pittsburgh 2, Miami 3. Stay with us.
The summer rolls on with another midweek matchup for your first place Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC at Highmark Stadium. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are in town next Wednesday, August 18th for a special 6 p.m. showdown. It's Hounds Night with special prices on beer, pop, and hot dogs through halftime. Discounted prices available for group purchases, or call and ask about our mini flex plans. Visit riverhounds.com or talk to a ticket representative at 412-865-GOAL. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, nestled in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania, is now open to the public. Enjoy 18 holes of championship golf with a new island green and fully stocked pro shop. Our clubhouse features a large ballroom for weddings or private parties, 2 restaurants serving delicious food, a sports bar, 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators, and an outdoor patio with gas fire pit and picturesque view. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, now open to the public.
Dixon still going and scoring!
With the Riverhounds Mini Flex Plan, you get 6 tickets and only pay for 5. Flex plans are 6 vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season. Use them all for 1 game or spread them out through the season. With 3 different plans starting at $90, you can choose anywhere in Highmark Stadium to cheer on the Hounds. Visit riverhounds.com/flexbooks or call 412-865-GOAL.
Back here in Pittsburgh, wrapping things up. Miami 3, Pittsburgh 2. Let's look back on this 90 minutes, our full-time highlights. In the 40th minute, this is when the scoring got started. Here's the foul that eventually led to the Tommy Williamson opening goal.
Little split of the midfield by Danny Rivera. Williamson, quality free kick. It is so difficult to get it up this high over guys that are 6 foot plus and then drop it to the doldrums and beat someone like Connor Sparrow. Williamson does it. Watch the response. Kennardo Forbes drifting to the back post. Oh my. Picturesque, the backdrop, but with King Kenny at the helm, he is the main attraction. That right there is your exhibit. And Exhibit A is responded by Exhibit B and C. 110 seconds. Cristiano Francois in the 52nd, Speedy Williams, courtesy of Ariel Martinez in the 53rd. Watch the pressure come right up through. Poor touch. It was a poor header the first time, a poor touch the second time. Good ball back across. Speedy Williams goes to work. This is the kind of response you need if you're Paul Dalgleish and Miami FC on the road, and you keep on going. What a strike. Palacios, upper corner. Thought that could have been the game winner. 'Twas not meant to be.
So he hits the elbow there. And then come the 82nd minute, Francois Kilwine had a good battle all night long. Francois wins this one, penalty.
There's no argument at all. Doesn't matter where you're sitting, what you see, and what replay we slow down for you. This is a penalty. Point to the spot, and Speedy Williams, for the third time in a Miami FC uniform, finds himself the back of the net twice within this game. More importantly, Miami FC, 3 points on the road.
So a brace for Speedy Williams, and as you mentioned, 3 goals and 3 points for Miami FC tonight. What a 90 minutes this was. Tommy Williamson opened that scoring, but Miami came roaring back with 3 goals of their own. This Atlantic Division getting super interesting as we get into the latter half of the season. That'll do it here from the Steel City for our entire crew and broadcast partner Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. It finishes Pittsburgh 2, Miami 3. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.